You.
Nice to meet
nice
you.
To meet you. Did you drive from the Lou?
No, I actually flew.
Direct with Southwest?
Yeah. That's brilliant, by the way.
It is. That's the worst drive ever in the history of the
Really?
world.
See, I really like the drive. I've only driven it until this time when I flew, and I couldn't believe, what was it, 45, 50 minutes in the air, and I was here. It was like, why don't I always fly? This is...
Yeah, it's,
But when you
I've
drive,
done it a couple times.
You get to jam out to your music and stop and start when you want.
Yeah, but then you have like Paducah.
Yeah, Paducah.
And then there's nothing before Paducah, and then after Paducah, it's like, it seems like it takes 4 hours to get to Mount Vernon.
Oh, it does. That is the longest part.
And then after Mount Vernon, like if you have to use the bathroom in between Mount Vernon and St. Louis, you're screwed because there's no stops. There's like two, and it's that exit that you pull off, and it says, "Oh yeah, there is a McDonald's here, but it's 6 miles down
right,
the
but
road."
it's way down that way. Yeah, that one kind of scares me. But if you plan it just right.
Okay. Oh, I was just in St. Louis on Saturday.
Yeah? You know,
We played the River City Casino. It was awesome.
That's right,
I've
you
never been
did.
there, and it was beautiful.
it's very nice, isn't it?
Random place.
It was kind
I
of in
grew
the
up in
middle.
Southeast
Right.
Missouri, so
I know
I-
you did, but it's kind of like that River City is kind of like in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, something told me if I walked like 4 blocks in any direction, it probably wouldn't be a good part of town.
No, it wouldn't be a good area at all.
You could see downtown though. Like all of my guys were like dying to go explore, and I was like, nah.
No, we're gonna stay
Don't
right
explore
here.
around here. You can go like look at the river, but don't get too close.
Oh, I know, don't go too close.
It's freezing. A lot of snow.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, St. Louis, I have Daivd Nail, Missouri's own Daivd Nail, right here with me. Now, I've got to call you on something. You're always tweeting about the Cardinals and Mizzou. Where's your St. Louis Blues love? No hockey love, huh?
Well, there's a reason behind that. You know, growing up so far south, I never really got the hockey bug until I moved here to Nashville.
No,
And
don't
then-
tell me.
And, you know, I was aware of the St. Louis Blues, and I can remember when Wayne Gretzky went there and all the hoopla and everything. But when I moved here, actually the only reason I ever got into hockey is I met a few of the guys on the team. We started hanging out, started going to a lot of games. One of the best men at my wedding was actually plays for the Predators here in town. So it was kind of finding the game with friends playing in the city I live in. So it's
So
kind
you're
of
a
weird.
Predators
So
fan.
I obviously hope we're in the same division, so it makes it hard to root for both. But you know, the Blues are so much better than we are now this year, so I can.
You heard it right there. I like that. I like that a lot.
It's no real secret.
It's no real secret. I saw that you got to hang out with the Cardinals a little bit, took some batting practice. How was that for you? Because I know you're a huge baseball fan.
You know, it's been the most surreal thing to get to know several people in that organization. You know, that was the earliest memory I have in my life is how important Cardinal baseball was to my father, and so obviously I fell in love with it as a result of that, and so then to have music, and there was a large part of my life when that was something that I felt like I would do someday, and so to have music kind of parlay myself into being around those guys and getting to know Tony La Russa really, really well, and was just up there for one of his benefits and also kind of celebrating his Hall of Fame induction. So it's very surreal. The whole batting practice was a matter of trying not to embarrass myself. But to wear the uniform was extremely cool, and just a very surreal moment of hey, this is something for a long time that I wanted. I never thought music would give me this opportunity, but to have that opportunity, obviously, I'm very thankful for.
It's really cool. Who is your favorite Cardinals player?
Well, I have a classic case of my favorite Cardinal player either leaving in free agency or being traded away.
Oh, okay.
It started with Willie McGee. He got traded away or re-signed somewhere else, and then I was a big Edgar Renteria fan.
Yeah.
And then that one guy who went to California.
That one guy that we're not going to talk about, right?
Him.
We won't mention his name.
But now, having got to know some of the guys, I've sat and talked with Matt Holliday a few times. He's a really nice guy, big family guy, so I really root hard for him. And, some of the younger guys that, his name is escaping me, Michael Waka.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
tweeted several times over the course of last year, so obviously rooting for him. Yeah, it's weird when you kind of know him from a personal standpoint, and it makes watching the game so much more.
Changes your perspective a little bit too. Yeah, absolutely. Now you mentioned, trying not to embarrass yourself in batting practice, and whatever she's got the video, you missed the ball. What's up with that?
Yeah, but the next one, I smoked, and we had to quit doing that as a result of how hard I hit it into the next building.
Oh, okay.
People complained. And the guy I was actually pitching is a guy I grew up with that pitched for Ole Miss. Fantastic. It was like SEC Freshman of the Year. Phenomenal pitcher. And so he always struck me out in high school. It was no different in our 30s.
I like that a lot. You mentioned your dad earlier. What's the most important lesson he's taught you?
Oh, wow. So many. I think that... after we just played St. Louis and my parents got a chance to come out, and they'd never seen our show, I guess, beyond 30, 45 minutes, and full band before. So he that night before I went to bed, I got a big long Bible of an email talking about how proud he was, and he just really kind of re-emphasized how hard he felt like that I'd worked and kind of never letting the dream die, because there's been several times over the course of my career that I probably could have parted ways with this business, and just I think more than anything just kind of sticking with it and believing that this is what the good Lord has in store for me, and things might not always go your way, but you got to kind of live your dreams with a sense of desperation, and don't think about a plan B, and I for sure don't have one.
That was going to be my next question. There's no plan B ever, is there?
Plan B would involve having to go back to college, and I'm not trying to be a 35-year-old junior.
No, nobody wants to do that, right?
Yeah, that's why I sent my wife back to college, so she could get a degree, get a master's degree, so if this all falls apart, I can just mooch off her.
I like that a lot. Now, I loved Red Light, Let It Rain, but this one, whatever she's got, did you know this one was going to be a special song?
Yeah, man, everybody's reaction was just a lot different than any song I'd ever had, even from the beginning of going out and playing it live. And I think, people were just so freaked out by the fact that I'm singing a happy song that, has some tempo to it. And, it took a while for people to get used to it, because I think people just assumed that I only sang sad songs with, piano that were really built around the piano. So I think once people got past that and were able to kind of just listen to the song, and it's definitely got an energy behind it that is a bit intoxicating, and people have really, grown with it and grown to it, and it's done far better than any song we've ever had.
Yeah, and it's catching on. It's one of my favorites right now on the radio. When you very first heard, what was the very first song of yours that you heard ever on the radio?
When I first moved to town, I got a record deal really quickly that vanished just as quickly, but I was there long enough to release a song called Memphis. And I was 21, I was a baby, I didn't even really know what I was doing, not that I do now either. But I was driving, I had done a radio visit in Memphis, and I was driving, and I kind of anticipated that they may play it, and so of course I was, had it glued to the station, and I remember pulling out across the river into Arkansas and them playing it, and of course there was nobody there to witness that moment with me, so I had to soak it in by myself. But it was, it's very ironic, because I thought at that moment in time, like, geez, this is it, I've made it,
Right.
It's the big time. And it was, about 8 years before I was on the radio again, so I definitely was an overnight success.
No, absolutely not. And then when does the next album come out? When does the newest one come out?
The newest one comes out March 4th, and the new single comes out that week as well. It's called Kiss You Tonight, and obviously there's a lot of pressure that comes with following up at #1, but I feel really strong about it. And the record's passed, I feel like we've always had one song that the record was kind of built around, and then we kind of hoped that we had a second one. And I really feel like with this record that we have a second, third, hopefully 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Hopefully just keep going. Pull a Shania and release everything.
I love it. Well, we'll definitely look for that here. Want to say a shout out to all your friends back home in St. Louis?
I definitely do. My sister lives in Fenton, so I hope you don't pull off the side of the road when you hear your name on the radio. But God bless you, and I miss you, and tell Presley I said hello.
I love it. Thank you so much.